Lyndon Banes Johnson has gotten some notoriety recently from meme culture for the fact that he still seems to be drafting people to the Vietnam War from beyond the grave. But today we'll see him as a fully fleshed out person. We'll see that his personality was fraught with holes in his ego, a lust for power, and principally having a large wiener. LBJ was possibly the most American president we've ever gotten. More or less imagine Trump, but instead of having a father with hundreds of millions, imagine that he was born poor and grew up on a farm. He was born in bumfuck nowhere, Texas, and graduated from Johnson City High School, which was later affectionately renamed Lyndon B. Johnson High School. After Richard M. Kleberg won a seat to the House of Representatives, he gave LBJ the job of legislative secretary. Kleberg had no intention of doing any real work, and thus pawned it all off to LBJ, allowing his political career to skyrocket. Johnson, a total hard-ass throughout his career, often demanded long work days and work on weekends. He was described by friends, work buddies, and historians as motivated by an exceptional lust for power and control, i.e. a total sociopath. Another called him callous and inhuman after going off on an aide. Robert Caro, who biographized Johnson's life, observes that, quote, Johnson's ambition was uncommon, in the degree to which it was unencumbered by even the slightest excess weight of ideology, philosophy, of principles, of beliefs. There was nothing this man wouldn't do to get ahead. He was then in the House of Representatives, and yada yada, VP president, JFK assassination. Some say it was planned by him. I think that's a little far-fetched. I think it was the CIA. Politics is all well and good and interesting or whatever, but let's talk about this creepy old man's sex addiction and disgusting personal habits. LBJ had a habit of pissing wherever he damn well pleased, even in the front lawn of the White House. Also, if he was in the middle of a conversation and had to go to the bathroom, he would just talk while taking a shit. Which isn't that weird, it's just kind of unprofessional.
Aw, geez, Mr. President, how do we declare war on Vietnam when Congress won't agree to it? That's okay, son, you can face me. I'm just taking a dump in here. Okay. Yeah, so what are we gonna do? Hold on 1 second. I'm thinking. I think we should just ignore him. That'll fix it.
In The Residence, Inside the Private World of the White House, the section of the book that talks about Johnson includes an anecdote about the presidential shower. According to Brower, it was very important that a newly installed jet stream be blasting directly at Johnson's dick. There was also audio of Johnson demanding a tailor alter his pants so that they would accommodate his long balls, which dropped down near, in Johnson's words, his bunghole. He also thought he had quite a large wiener. So if a colleague came into the Capitol building as he was finishing at the urinal there, he would sometimes swing around, still holding his member, which he liked to call Jumbo, hooting once, "Have you ever seen anything as big as this?" He was also very handsy with just about everyone. Johnson had no sense of personal space and treated conversation as a creepy hands-on affair. Miller learned from Washington Post editor Ben Bradley that you really felt as if a St. Bernard had licked your face for an hour. He pawed you all over. He had many particular sayings, all which had their respective charm. One was, "It's raining as hard as a cat pissing on a flat rock." Another one was, "Straight as an Indian shits." And, "The importance of fighting an opponent until he's shitty as a bear." His Machiavellianism came out in full force when dealing with race issues. He championed civil rights while also himself being a racist. Not like 2020 racist either, like actually racist, even in the 60s. Many quotes include, "When I appointed a to the bench, I wanted everyone to know he's a." He referred to manual labor of his youth as work. Now, Johnson married Claudia Alta Taylor, also known as Lady Bird, of Karnak, Texas, back in November 17, 1934, which he lovingly called the best piece of ass he ever had. He cheated on her as much as he could, though, don't worry. During his marriage, Lyndon Johnson had affairs with multiple women, in particular Alice Glass. Glass ended things with him because of her dislike of the Vietnam War. Damn hippies getting in the way of the president getting some coochie. He was open about his long-term affairs with other women, constantly embarrassing his wife in the process. When people mentioned Kennedy's many affairs, Johnson would bang the table and declare that he had had more women by accident than Kennedy had ever had on purpose. The Vietnam War cast him pretty deep into depression, realizing Vietnam was to become his legacy and that it would be tarnished. It's almost like he didn't realize that all the things that he had done previously would tarnish his legacy. When strolling on the White House lawn, he was quoted to have said, "I just don't know what the fuck to do about Vietnam."